Southern California has a new modern home for NFL football, and it is this place, wondrous SoFi Stadium here in Inglewood. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the Indianapolis Colts and the Los Angeles Chargers. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC Wild Card game. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing Ryan to start out. That's caught by his tight end, Kylen Granson. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
See what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain first down. On 3rd down, Ryan. And that will be incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Herbert now. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. 2 yards is the pickup, and it'll be a Los Angeles first down.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. On 2nd down, Eckler. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A.
Good running right there. And this is a man who's a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes it's just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw there complete to Allen. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 32-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. On 1st and 10, Herbert. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive, INT.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
But that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working. But how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 22-yard line. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They move this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive. Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers will strike first here in this wild card matchup. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now the extra point. And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. There to make the tackle, Khalil Mack. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Again, it's Taylor. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game, without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
A pickup of 5 that time and a 1st down.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a 1st down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Looking for Campbell downfield. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Chargers are going to have it here at their own 15.
I know some teams are leery about playing cover 2 because a strong safety's not usually a terrific cover guy. But in this case, he played it perfectly. Read the football and went and made the interception.
The Charger drive about to get going. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time, let's keep doing it until they stop us? Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. On third down, here's Eckler. A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now it's Herbert. This caught left side by the tight end, Parham. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
From the 44, Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now Herbert off the bootleg. Rolling to his left. Under a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Julian Blackmon. And the Colts will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together. Say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He'll find his man. That's Taylor again. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And yet again, Ryan is intercepted. Picked off by Michael Davis. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Running on first down, Eckler. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Back to throw here, Herbert. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan when trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Chargers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco
on Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked up by Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this 2nd quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
1st and 10, Taylor now. That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run once more with Taylor. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he is going to lose yardage here. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about
that. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Now McManus will line up for the field goal. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. Now the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. The kick by McManus is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
The Charger drive about to get going. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's Herbert. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Keon Crossan. And the Colts are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Ryan. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Chargers are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked them off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. The final shot before the break for Herbert. Looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. The Charger drive about to get going. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
And that to the 30. It'll be 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
From the 30 on second down. Herbert. This is caught by Williams. It's a first down, his fourth catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Eckler going to get it again on second down. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you get ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Herbert. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. That's Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker who got in and dropped him to the turf.
There's a reason inside linebackers are often captains of a defense. They call the signals. They have the opportunity to affect the game in coverage, against the run, and, of course, on blitzes. Living in the best of both worlds here. Already has an interception. Now he gets to record a sack, too.
A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 47 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call. Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Ryan. Out to the right and complete to Pittman. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
They're going on 4th down. It's Ryan. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Eckler now between the tackles. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen from 19 yards away. And the Chargers continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now.
The score, Chargers 21, Colts 3.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Ryan. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Third quarter, wild card round. Thanks for being along for the playoff ride with us. Here's 2nd and 10. And my goodness, another interception. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Third quarter now from SoFi Stadium. Here's a 2nd and 10. And motion left goes a tight end. Up the middle with Eckler. He finds some open feet, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, LA. Austin Eckler, 48 yards. And the the Chargers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Point after, right down the middle. And they open the lead up now to 25.
Colts 3.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Touchdown! Michael Pittman, 77 yards. And the Colts are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter. Well, look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
To throw for it is Ryan. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. So unable to throw it in for two from the two. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line in a two-point conversion as far as how you're defending?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. It's Eckler again. And some space. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And fortunately, he's able to get this one back, so it is a first down. Even though he recovered his own fumble, you know how much he hates to put the ball on the ground. He's going to be frustrated with himself.
And what do you think the time frame was from the time the ball escaped his grasp to him getting it back? It didn't take that long, right? To him, it probably felt like hours because he's agonizing, like, I've got to get this football back. Able to get it done. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's Herbert. Allen's got it complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try the right side with Eckler. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line.
On 2nd down, Spiller looking for space. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it. Now he fights his way in for a Charger touchdown. Isaiah Spiller, a 3-yard touchdown run, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point right down the middle, and that will bump the lead up to 26. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. That ball caught by Campbell. The 40, 20, touchdown Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, 87 yards. And the Colts are able to cut into that deficit. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
From his end zone, here comes Carter. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
They'll go right back to Spiller here on 1st down. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Again, they run it with Spiller. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
On 1st and 10 is Spiller. And he's got some space here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 62 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Straight ahead, it's Spiller. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Herbert now. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Let's take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Ryan. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is recovered by the Chargers.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They run behind center with Spiller. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. The Chargers, they're going to continue on in these playoffs. As we say so long, everybody. Thanks for watching.